What is up, Sauce Nation? It's your boy Hector Flores back with you with another Astros video. We got the usual suspects for the Astros here, so we'll go ahead and let these guys introduce themselves, starting off with Ray Ray.
Ray Rants, man. Not the pigskin prophet, because it ain't a pigskin. We're talking baseball, baby. We're talking the good stuff. An actual team that does what they're supposed to do. It's beautiful. Now, we're going to get into it. I'll leave this for 10, man.
What's good, man? It's 10, man. You know I'm here to bring that toxic 10-man mentality, and it's definitely spilling over to the Astros now.
Yep. All right, so this video, we're going to talk about relief pitchers and closers. You know what? We can never have enough relief pitchers. That is the straight truth. Yeah, you can maybe try to get yourself a guy that's maybe a promising starting pitcher and get him some pro experience. But sometimes you need some guys with some ice in their veins to go right into here. And that's I think, how we truly feel. Sometimes you need some experience in this bullpen, and that's my thoughts on that one. But how crucial is the bullpen, starting with Ray Ray?
Oh, thank you, Hector. I'm glad you asked, because I got to tell you, to me, the bullpen itself is more crucial. I can make an argument that, to me, bullpen is more crucial than starting pitching in a lot of ways. A lot of deciding games come to your bullpen, more so than your starting pitching. If it's not there, you're gonna have a great 4 or 5 before it starts going downhill real quick, fast, and in a hurry. And then if you bring a relief pitcher in that's not really worth their salt, you're gonna give up more runs, and you're constantly paying catch up. With a solid relief role, you can have, if you only have a 2 or 3 run lead, and let's say it's 3-0, and you're going into the 6th, and you bring in a reliever, you're not too worried that, okay, if he's in there just even for an inning, he's not going to totally botch this. Now, let's be real, it happens, even to the best pitchers, but ultimately that's what these GMs and stuff get paid for, is to find that stout relief pitching.
True. Care to share your thoughts on that, Tim?
Man, you killed it with the opening, man. We need mercenaries. We need guys that go out there and kill. And that's what your relief pitching is. That's what your closing pitching is. And I would say it's one of the most important things on a team, especially with how teams manage the bullpen now. You see a lot of faces throughout the games, especially when you get later in the season, when those series start to matter more, when it really matters on where you're going to be, how you're going to take your division. So you really want killers. You want stone cold face killers out there who do not care, who do not see a man behind the bat. All they see is a number. They see that K. They want to get them out. And that's what I want to see out of this bullpen. And that's what I want to see out of relief pitchers.
Exactly. So we're going to start off this list at number 5. He's a personal favorite of mine, but he's at the bottom because, unfortunately, he did not have the best season last year. And that is Brad Hand. He's a lefty, could also be a closer. He's 31 years old, had a ERA of 3.90, unfortunately, and had a whip of 1.268. So obviously there is some side that, Brad Hand is still that pitcher and had 61 strikeouts. Ray, try to explain, guys, why I love Brad Hand so much.
You know what? I'm gonna actually save that for you. I'm gonna save the Brad for you, man. No, see, so Brad is okay. He's an interesting conversation, because this is a guy that was a flamethrower. He was a flamethrower. Last year, the velocity dropped off. He was averaging about 93.6 per fastball. But what makes Brad Hand dangerous isn't his fastball. It's his damn sinker. If anyone's ever played baseball, if you're a right-handed hitter, hitting a sinker from a left-hander is a damn nightmare. It is hard to do, and he throws a great sinker. Okay, great sinker, straight up. There's no other way about it. But he also has, other than a sinker, he also has a slider. No, it's not a 90-mile-an-hour slider, but it's an 80-mile-an-hour slider that he gets a lot of people looking on, especially if he's mixing his sinker and his slider up. You have to really watch out for him. Yeah, he may have fallen off a little bit, but I actually at first, Hector and I disagreed on this, but I actually kind of am coming around on it. Like, man, you know what? And yeah, he's a little bit older, but again, it goes back to what we always talk about: experience, helping out. We have a lot of younger rotational pieces coming up. Why not have an experienced guy back there besides Presley? I mean, let's be honest.
Yeah, exactly. Tin Man, your thoughts on Brad Hand?
Brad Hand, I like him, man. He's got good control. I mean, like Ray said, sinker. I mean, when you get a guy that just controls his pitches, and I compare it to our last video when I talked about JP France, I just want to see a little bit more control when you go high and low. Brad Hand gives you that, man. He gives you those tight pitches to where if he's going high, it's high, but it's controlled. It's catchable. It's up above the box. It's just in the box. I mean, this guy, I really liked what jumped off the film to me. He looked good to me. It's one of those things where we roll back to the front of what your conversation started. He didn't have quite the good year that he had last year. You go look at his numbers and stuff, they look good here. They look good there. They're not good across the board. Now, I would like to see something like that come in because we need help on the closing end. We need help on the relief pitchers. It's something that the Astros were struggling going into the postseason with last year. It's something that they struggled into the World Series with. So it would be nice to see some veteran leadership get in there. Somebody who's going to be comfortable, get a little bit of ice in their veins. The moment's not too big for them. Just go out there and do what he does and get that batter out.
I think you guys basically explained it exactly. Don't think you need to add much to it. But
tell us why he gives you the man boner.
Oh,
hey man, if there's one thing that the guy is pure filth. You mentioned the sinker. The sinker is one of the nastiest pitches in any pitcher's arsenal. It makes you think you're going to see a fastball, and in reality, it just goes ahead and pulls the okie doke on you. That's why everyone hates the sinker. That's why not many people can hit the sinker. And you're exactly right. Brad Hand is disgusting. It's not about his high velocity pitches. It's what he does with that sinker and how he messes with you with that sinker. So you guys are absolutely correct about it. Now going on, this is actually a possible trade piece, depending on how you feel on the word possible. And that is the Dodgers relief pitcher, Blake Treinen, 33 years old, a 1.99 ERA and a .982 whip, and has 85 strikeouts. Now we know we're talking about a possible trade with the LA Dodgers. It has happened before. I mean, see Yordan Alvarez for trades that the Dodgers are giving us. Can lightning strike twice, Tinny? Can we somehow find a way to get Blake Treinen here in Houston?
Yeah, fuck the Dodgers. Yeah, go for the throw. Why not, man? What do you think? I'm embarrassed? Man, I wear everything from that 2017 season on my shoulders. You call me what you want. You want us to be the bad guys? Soft Sports are your guys. You want us at the forefront? We're your goons, okay? So, yeah, Blake is definitely really good. I like what he did. I like what he saw. He goes out and attacks those batters. He puts those pitches all over the place. He will go for their weak spots. He will go up, high, low, outside, inside. He gets them. I like that about him. I really want to see if something like that could fall through. Now, I understand what you mean by, the whole Dodgers. They would be some punks and not want to let us go get somebody or acquire a talent that they think would help us. But, I mean, they're in another conference. Like, who cares? Like, get over it. Y'all were cheating, too. Y'all were doing all these bad things, too.
Everyone was cheating, bro.
I mean, everybody does it. I grew up in the steroid era. I mean, nothing was funner than watching Sammy Sosa and Mark McGwire go at it. So if the Dodgers want to be in their feelings, go to another team, set something up. Let's get a few teams, move them around on paper, then get them home.
Got to follow up there, Ray?
Okay. My only hesitation on him is, and again, if we're gonna use a trade piece, it'd have to be someone that's in our lower top 20 prospect list. It's that simple, or even a everyday rotational player. When I mean by rotational, I mean just an everyday player, whether it be someone who's on the roster who has a contract extending on beyond next year, whatever the case may be. But he's 33 and he's a right-hander. He's a tall, built 6'5" right-hander, but he has unbelievable craft. If I remember correctly, one game, I remember this vividly. I watched it and I could not believe. I think I saw a 93-mile-an-hour cutter, a 97-mile-an-hour sinker, and a 98-mile-an-hour fastball in one damn outing. That hitter had no he had no chance. He had no chance. I mean, that's filthy stuff if you think about it. Not just velocity-wise, but he actually has tremendous movement with his velocity, which is why a lot of your, Randy Johnsons, Nolan Ryan, guys who had the high velocity but had great spin. It's the same kind of concept with him. Is he like a perennial all-star? No. Is he someone you should fork over like Corey Lee for? Hell no. All right. And just because he's with the Dodgers, I agree with Tinny. I don't care whether he's with the Dodgers or not. I don't care who he was with. He could have been a Yankee for all I care. But does he come to this team? Does he help us? That's all I care about. This guy features a slider, a cutter, a sinker, and a fastball, and an occasional changeup at 91 miles an hour. Does that sound like anyone we know? Just saying. Sounds like a Lance McCullers type. Look at it that way. Just a taller, longer Lance McCullers kind of guy.
That is a really good point. All right, man. Segueing into moving on from trades, we're actually going to go back into that farm system, and we're looking at number 3, which is Riley Ferrell. He's 28 years old. He had a 2.93 ERA and a 1.350 WHIP and 48 strikeouts. Now, this guy's been kind of a bit of a journeyman in his time so far as a minor leaguer. But is it now time to go ahead and see if this guy can find a home with the Astros? And we'll start things off with Ray.
I'm going to make this very short and sweet. The guy is bounced around the minors for quite a while. I'd say at least I'd say about 4 years now. He goes up and down between AAA and AA quite frequently. He's at that kind of either piss or get off the pot kind of thing right now. You need to see what he's got. You just need to give him a chance, see what he's got. You never know, you could strike gold. I haven't personally seen him pitch very much, so I can't say much to what he has. All I can say is with someone who's a rotational piece like this that keeps going in and out of the system for quite some bit, you need to kind of let them see if they can do something. In other words, I kind of get, and I don't know if you remember this, Hector, I kind of get an Octavio Dutel kind of vibe. Bounce in and out, in and out, in and out. Never really got a shot. Finally got a shot and did pretty damn well for many years with Houston. So
it's a very good example, actually. Tin Man, how do you feel about Riley Ferrell?
Oh, there we go. Pretty much fans like myself, fans like who may be watching this, you're going to want to go to these games. We kind of don't have any more excuse when you're here in Houston. You got Sugarland right down the street. So I have to scold myself and I have to scold you for this. Get out there and watch these games. If you live down by Corpus Christi, catch these guys early. These systems are in place because these guys will one day be at the big show. So please go out in there and support all these minor league teams.
Great point.
Very good point. All right, and continuing with the minor league system, Michael Kelly is going to be our number 2. He's 29 years old, 2.70 ERA, a 1.240 WHIP, and has 62 strikeouts. Another guy in the farm system, kind of similar to what we've been saying about it's time to get off the pot. But he has relief experience in the farm system. Maybe let's see if that experience can come into play in the majors. And starting with Tinny, what are your thoughts on Michael Kelly?
Again, I'm shooting myself in the foot for this video because I have very limited information outside of what you could find out there just floating around on the web as far as stats go. Numbers wise, you look at numbers and you look at these guys, and it's hard to say from paper who should jump up. One thing that I would say, and I would hope that the Astro guys are really paying attention to this, because this has been the theme of the last 2 Astro videos. We need to work on our pitching and we need to start building that bullpen. So if these guys' numbers are matching anything that you want to see out of a starter that goes into the lineup for the regular season, you need to start giving it some serious thought whether or not you want to bring them up.
Exactly. Ray, thoughts on Michael Kelly?
Kelly to me is a little different. I'm a little familiar with him. I would say with Kelly, he has what I call the average pitching style. What I mean by that is someone who's not going to wow you with velocity. It's in there in between the 92, 94 mile an hour fastball range. Someone that can throw a curveball, they can throw a changeup, and just not in any count. They kind of use it as an out pitch more than anything. I would say he's a guy that is kind of similar to what they said. He's kind of, off the pot kind of thing, but at the same time, he has more experience. I feel if you're going to give anyone a clear-cut shot, it would be more so Kelly than it would be anyone else, to be quite frank, especially coming out of our rotational system. The only thing that I can honestly say we maybe lack as a minors league system, a farm system, is relief pitching. To be quite honest with you, I mean, we have some pieces, but a lot of guys that are those kind of guys have been in the minors quite some time. You know, and when I mean quite some time, I mean like 3 or 4 years. Don't get crazy. I'm not talking about 10-year Crash Davis type stuff. I'm just saying, just, you know, guys who have been around a little bit.
And going into our number one, speaking of guys that actually have been around, and it's a fan favorite, and that is, of course, former Houston Astro Colin McHugh, 35 years old. Last season had a 1.55 ERA with a 1.232 WHIP, 74 strikeouts with Tampa Bay. Everyone knows Tampa Bay has a thing for pitchers, and he is a free agent. Ray, is it time to bring back Colin McHugh to Houston?
You gotta bring him back, bro. Just if anything for nostalgia purposes, you gotta bring back Colin. Dude, to me, Colin is kind of like fine wine. He definitely ages. I feel like the older he gets, just the better he gets. He just can't go as long as he used to. I'm serious. I bring him back, please. That's all I gotta say. Just please bring him back. If you don't know who Colin McHugh is, then you need to go back and read your Astros history or something. Just please bring him back, please.
You know, we're talking about a fan favorite, especially if you talk about the Twitter sphere, because Colin McHugh's wife has been fighting for the Astros fans since the cheating scandal has commenced. So
big time.
Man, you got a little toxicity in Mrs. McHugh. How would you feel bringing back Colin McHugh to Houston?
That's what we got to be in Houston, man. We got the plants. We toxic. We got refineries. We toxic. Toxic to our bones. All right? But let me tell you something. If you can see my notes right now, there's like 3 little stars right there next to his name, because I want to see him back here so much. Yes. Because even if you look last year, the pitching is still nasty. It's one of those things like when a guy can pitch you and he can go low and out, it's so nasty. Like it's one of those swings. Like when you see the batter swing and reach for a ball like that, and he looks up, he's not even mad at the ump. He's looking at the pitcher and he's just, damn, you got me. And Colin has got one of those pitches that just reaches in and snatches your soul out. Because when you miss it, you miss big time. And the whole world's watching. It's so nasty. Nasty low and out. I mean, come on, man. You got to – if Wifey is trying to get back to the H, we know what they need to do down there over there at Minute Maid. Come on. Juice box, bring them back home.
Yeah, that is a perfect way to explain how much we want Colin McHugh back. I want Colin McHugh back. I don't think anybody else can make an argument to not bring Colin McHugh back. And once again, we're talking about experience. This guy has plenty of it, and it would definitely help out with his pitching staff. Yep. Now, going into honorable mentions. Oh, wait, River, you got something to say?
Yeah, I got something. I just like how he mixes his fastball and cutter with precision. I love that more than anything. I'm not saying he's Greg Maddux. Don't freak out. I'm just saying he has that mentality. The way he uses his pitches. Oh, God, bring him back, please. All right, honorable mention. Go ahead.
Honorable mentions, man. So when it comes to relief pitchers, and I know this is not the sexiest of position groups. It's a needed group, but it's not the sexiest. But, Tinny, what do you think about when you look at some of these relief pitchers that are out there?
I looked around. And I was looking at a lot of people, and I got to say, I want Colin back. Fuck everybody else. Bring Colin back home. I want to say an honorable mention, but I got to advocate one more fucking time. Let's get Colin back home because this is where he belongs, the H. Wifey wants the H. We want him here. We're with Wifey. Get the agents on the phone. Let's make this shit happen.
All right.
Fair enough, man. I want Liam Kendricks. Liam Hendricks is who I want. I know. I've always been a fan of his. I just like what he brings. Man. I can't help it. It's a personal bias, man. It's an honorable mention. I like Hendricks, bro. I like Liam Hendricks.
I would love to have the Aussie here in Houston. So
I knew it.
Good point. My honorable mention, we kind of talked about Blake Trinan a little bit, kind of a stretch a little bit there for a trade asset. But the other one I'm talking about is Chad Green. That's my honorable mention. I think also kind of a stretch because, the Yankees. But I think the little bit that's different between the Dodgers and Yankees organization is the Yankees also know what they've been doing, and they frankly don't care, and they'll work with whoever they can to work with to get some deals done. And I think Chad Green, if you want to talk about a stone-faced killer, that is Chad Green. And you know what? Lately, I've been having a fandom with some stone-faced guys. I mean, look at Phil Maydon if you want an example. But yeah, Chad Green, he just keeps the same face. He's very poised, and that's what you want in your bullpen.
Yeah, I totally forgot about him, man. Another guy that I would want, but I think is not reasonable, with Josh Hader.
I would love to bring Josh Hader back.
But I don't think he's reasonable. I think Yankees are going to target him and give him a buttload of money. Honestly,
I would hate to see that, just because then the flow's got to have to come off. But
exactly, yeah.
But yeah, man. So those are some of the relief pitchers that we have in mind to bring into the Houston Astros organization. You know, relief pitchers, they're not literally a position group that demands very much money. And that's kind of like the easy thing about relief pitching. But when you find a good one, you hold on to them, and you hold on to them long and dear. And that's how we feel here in South. But tell us in the comments section, man. Tell us what you guys think. Is there a relief pitcher that you guys are thinking of? What do you think of the guys that we presented to you guys? Make sure you guys go ahead and comment down below. Also, man, props to you guys listening. Ray, Tin Man, anything you want to share to the crowd?
Man, y'all just go down to Sugar Land, check that out. If you can get on the road, you go down to Corpus Christi, or if you live down there, go check these games out. Let's start really investing in the Astros farming program. Let's start investing as fans and getting to know these guys a lot better. And that's my peace of mind. Definitely go check out the Discord, check out the Patreon, get in there quickly, because the conversation is rolling daily. We just rolled in there today and had great conversations. So be a part of it.
Absolutely, man. I'm a minor league guy. I love doing. It's just like football. I love prospects. I'm a minor league. I mean, you can ask Hector and Tinny. I go and order like team Skeeter cards and team hooks cards and stuff like that. I'm pretty familiar with it. I usually go see 2 or 3 games a year. This year, I haven't. Unfortunately, some things came up. But man, I'm telling you, get involved. I remember vividly seeing George Springer and Jose Altuve in a Hooks uniform at the game, in front of me. Those are opportunities you just don't get.
Yeah, make sure you guys do check out Corpus Christi and Sugar Land, which they're going to be unveiling a new name coming up pretty soon at the end of the month. So make sure you guys be on the lookout, because Sugar Land's going to be changing it up. Obviously, have a lot of influence with the Houston Astros now becoming the official minor league team. But yeah, man. Thanks so much. Make sure you guys go ahead and subscribe, like this video, click on that notification bell. You don't want to miss out on what's going on in Sauce Sports, man. So with all that being said, chucking up a deuce. Y'all stay saucy.
Drip.